If you don't keep promises to yourself, why should other people do it? Why should other people keep their promises to you if they see that you can't even keep a promise to yourself? Hello everyone, and welcome back, and welcome if you are new here. And today I wanted to talk about a big topic. I feel like it's a topic that has gained so much momentum all over the social media: self-love. Now, lately, I feel like it's becoming more of a trend, and I see it so often. You see it on TikTok, you see it on Instagram, on YouTube. Everyone is talking about it, but I feel like it started really losing its grip. Like, it's becoming less and less effective because people started to divide self-love into toxic self-love and the actual self-love. Now, what is the toxic self-love? I prefer to call it superficial self-love, and I feel like it's something that I've been a victim when I just turned 20 years old. I've been a victim of that for sure. And the superficial, I call it superficial because it's on the surface. It's a self-love on the surface, and it doesn't go deep enough to fulfill you, because self-love is all about self-fulfillment. It's about how fulfilled you are on spiritual level, physical level, and mental level. And all of those are important. For me, self-love, it's self-fulfillment in all those areas. And a little bit more than that. But we're gonna get into it. My story, why I wanted to talk about it, is that my story when I was 20 years old, I definitely got trapped into this superficial self-love because, I don't know, it was just like this big trend of, in that year, of self-love. Everyone was talking about it. I was following those Instagram influencers talking about self-love, and, you know, I started doing the things that they're doing. I was like, well, that seems like a happy person. They're in love with themselves and everything's going good for them. No, they're not. The problem is that I fell under this superficial love trend, I don't know how to call this, so hard, and I started doing the same thing that they did. I started posting myself on Instagram like half naked and calling it self-love, and like, you know, what I did nothing to make myself feel self-fulfilled, because what I did is I posted those pictures, I got validation from the likes, the comments, and then a couple of those guys that I tried to impress slided in my DMs, and well, temporarily it didn't make me feel validated. However, it was a wrong validation, because the only thing it validated, the only thing it fed, was my ego. And I feel like the problem with self-love, the superficial self-love, is that there's a lot of narcissism in it. Like, we're living in such narcissistic age, it's crazy.
Okay, there's something I need to clarify about what I just said. And what I'm saying is that I don't mean that you shouldn't take those pictures. You do what you want. What I'm trying to say is that if you do it with the thought of somebody else, if you do it because you want to feel validated by somebody, or you would like to impress somebody, or if you do it with the thought of somebody else, it's not good for you, because you're just trying to impress somebody. You're just trying to validate yourself, your ego, from something that is not even worth it, because there's a chance that you're not going to receive that validation, and you're going to be disappointed, and you're going to be sad, and you're going to think that you're not worth whatever you're worth because you didn't receive the attention you wanted, or it's just not worth it. It's not worth the energy. And whatever you do it for you and enjoy it. If you want to do it, but do it for yourself. Do it because you want to do it for you, because you love to do it, because you enjoy to do it. You don't need to impress anyone. And trust me, there is nothing better in the world than you just being yourself. Because in the end of the day, what do you want to be loved? Like, how do you want to be loved? You want to be loved by who you are. And trust me, the right people will never walk away from that. The right people will look at you, see you for who you are, and fall in love with you and be like, damn, that person is amazing just the way they are. And if you are pretending to be somebody else, exactly that right person will walk away because they're like, oh, that's not what I want. And you will attract people who will be attracted to this like mask of yours that is trying to impress people. And guess what? One day you will not be able to hold up that mask. One day you will be tired of pretending, and then your true self will come out. And then this person who loved you for that mask will be like, what the hell? What are you? And you don't want that. So be yourself. There is nothing better in the world than you. There is nothing better in the world than just being yourself and feeling complete and whole and not feeling the need to feel validated from somebody else, to feel the need to impress somebody. You are impressive just the way you are. You don't need to prove yourself through somebody or somebody's attention or anything. You are already impressive.
And that's the thing, and definitely, again, I was a victim of that, 100%, and it just, again, it filled me up on the surface. It gave my ego the validation. However, on a deeper level, it didn't feed my soul. And that's exactly what I needed. That's exactly what I was craving, and that did nothing. I feel like it actually got me further away from where I wanted to be, because what it did, it's just a distraction. Because self-love, right, self-fulfillment, it's also understanding that I'm not perfect, and that's okay. However, I have a picture of a best version of myself, a woman that I would like to become, right? And I understand that it takes to do, and I'm willing to do the internal work it will take me to do in order to become the best version of myself. It's not a perfect version of myself. It's the version of myself that I would like to be, that I know I can be, that I already see this potential in me. And there are just those little things that I need to work on. I will feel fulfilled, I will feel complete, and I will feel whole. Because I practice self-love, self-fulfillment on those 3 levels that I told you: mental, spiritual, and physical. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. So let me just start with saying that this is coming from my personal perspective, and it's such a broad topic, and there's so much more to add to it. So I would say this would be like the base of it, but however, maybe you will find something that will be helpful for you. And exactly because this topic is so heavily misinterpreted, this is why I wanted to come on here and make sure, that there won't be another me falling into the trap of the superficial love. So the first point for me is self-love is taking care of yourself. And now that sounds easy. That's just, well, that includes, I'll buy flowers for myself every Sunday. I will go out, make myself go out for dinner, just me and myself and I will make myself bubble baths and do my skincare. Well, that is an act of self-care. It's not really taking care of yourself, because taking care of yourself is making sure what do you eat? What do you eat? Are you physically active? Are you working out? Are you drinking the right amount of water? How are you spending your time? It's taking responsibility of yourself, of your body, your health, taking care of you the way your parents did take care of you a long time ago. The second point is self-respect. Well, that includes stop comparing yourself to other people and watching the way you talk to yourself, right? You cannot just come up to a mirror and be like, oh my god, I look so shit today. Oh, and I'm this and I'm that. And whenever something doesn't go your way, it's the negative talk. It's also your thoughts. Don't insult yourself. Don't compare yourself to others. You don't deserve it, because you wouldn't do You wouldn't do that to your friend because you love and respect your friend. You are one of the most important people in your life because you are gonna live with yourself. Do you really want to live this way? Think about it. Self-respect also means respecting your promises. It also means keeping promises to yourself. If you said that you're gonna wake up at 6 and hit the gym do it. If you said that you're gonna go for a run, do it. If you said you're gonna get this and this done, do it. You know why? Because every single time we give ourselves promise, we say to ourselves, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and we end up not doing it. This is why also watch the amount of to-dos you give yourself, because there is a chance, like, I used to write those huge to-do lists of what I have to accomplish in 3 days that were impossible, because if I will do all of this in 3 days, I will not eat, I will not sleep, I will not do anything. And that's the thing, be realistic, give yourself a manageable amount of work, but also try to keep those promises. You know why? Because every single time you don't keep a promise to yourself, you disrespect yourself and you allow others to do the same. Because every single time you break that promise you gave yourself, you're disappointed in yourself. Deep down inside, you know that you wanted to do it. The yesterday's version of you wanted to do it, but the version of yourself today woke up and felt lazy, and instead of pushing yourself a little bit, you chose just crawl in your bed and stay cozy. While I know that sounds good, and I've been there millions of times, but even lately, like last time, I promised myself I was gonna go for a run, and I woke up in the morning. It was cold. I didn't want to get out of bed, and it was early, and I was like, no, why? And then I was like, okay, come on. I told myself that I gave a promise to myself. I was like, today I do not fulfill the promise I gave to myself. Tomorrow it's gonna be somebody else. I turned up my music, put my headphones on, putting my clothes on, and then as soon as I know, I'm grabbing my Snickers and I'm going out. It was freezing. I froze my booty. When I went out, it was not pleasant. But after, I ran and it felt good. But you know what felt even better is that I gave myself a promise and I did it. And it was hard to do, but I did it. And in the end, I was like, yes, I did it. If you don't keep promises to yourself, why should other people do it? Why should other people keep their promises to you if they see that you can't even keep a promise to yourself? You just let it slide and you're like, oh, okay, whatever. Well, I promised myself I'm gonna do it, but something happened, something this and this and this and that. Oh, I didn't do it, it's fine. And they're like, okay, like she's fine with herself. It means that, okay, if I'm not gonna do my promise, she'll be fine with it. Why should it bother her? It's fine. So that's the thing, watch it, because trust me, other people pick it up, other people notice it. When they see a person, when they see a person who can keep promises to themselves, they're like, respect. It's respect. You can do nothing but respect that person. The third point is self-integrity. Being honest with ourselves, it is so important. I can't stress this enough. You know what's up. You feel this. There's like, there's your inner voice somewhere in the back of you, and you're like, yeah. And sometimes we choose to ignore it, but we know it's there. Acknowledge its presence. It's there for a reason. We gaslight ourselves so much. When you feel wrong, acknowledge that feeling, admit it to yourself. I feel wrong because that person treated me this way, because that person said this to me, because that person touched me in a way that I don't want to be touched. Acknowledge it and say it. Speak up for yourself and be honest with yourself. An example of this would be also, it's like, when we forgive people or when we make excuses for people, we excuse people even though we see who they are and we let it slide. How can I explain this? For example, let's suppose the situation like where I go on a date, right? And let's suppose I'm looking for the husband. I'm in that stage. I'm determined to find my husband. Theoretically. Right, I'm looking for a relationship. I'm looking for commitment. I want to get married. I go on a date with the guy. I like the guy. He's funny and everything. I see so many things that I like about him. We have a really good time. But he tells me that, let's say, for example, I'm a person who appreciates my freedom a lot. I appreciate my space, and I value trust. So it's like, trust for me is the fundamental thing in the relationship. And this guy lets me know that he's controlling, and then he lets me know that he actually doesn't want to get married. That he doesn't value the marriage, and I do, and it's important to me. But I gaslight myself into believing that, oh well, I can change him, oh well, it's fine, it's actually not that important for me, it's fine, we can make it work. Oh well, he's controlling, maybe he just needs time. He will see that I'm loyal, he will see that I will never do anything, he will see that I'm a good girl, I will do this and do that, everything is gonna be fine. Or worse, like, I'm gonna fix him, I'm gonna do this up. My darling, my dear Bob the Builder, put your tools down, because you don't need them. You don't need to fix anyone, and you're not gonna fix anyone. If the person, a man, woman, however you identify yourself, if the person you're with is saying to you that this is how I am, believe them. When people tell you who they are, believe them. Don't think that you're gonna change. Don't think that I am so special, I'm gonna change them. You are special, but not for that person. Don't waste your time and energy. Don't gaslight yourself. And that's the thing, say it to yourself. Okay, I like the guy, he's funny, he makes me laugh, I love this about him, but I value the marriage, I love my space, I want this from my relationship. It's important for me. Point. Period. It is not negotiable. It's not negotiable. This is your deal breaker. Your personal red flag. Your deal breaker. Don't gaslight yourself, because later on it's gonna catch up with you and you're gonna hardcore regret it. Point number 4 is self-discipline. You probably knew it was coming. Come on. Self-discipline. It's a tough one. It's getting out. It's showing up for yourself on the days where you don't want to show up. It's waking up early in the morning and hitting the gym. It's getting your work done when it needs to be done. It's organizing yourself in a way so that you will meet the deadline by the time this work has to be done. It's learning how to manage your finances. It's not living from a salary to a salary. It's understanding, okay, this is how much money I have. I need to pay my bills. I need to pay my rent. I need groceries. I want to go out with my friends. I want to buy this for myself. It's staying within those limits, within those rules you give to yourself. Self-discipline, being disciplined with yourself, exercising discipline. At first, it's really hard, but once you do it repeatedly, many times, you count to 5, but you count from 5 to 1 backwards, you get up and do it. And with time, it's gonna get easier and easier because you're gonna build new habits. It's hard, it requires dedication, it requires determination, and it's hard. But it will profit you, it will benefit you long term. And it doesn't mean that, again, speaking of self-love, it doesn't mean that you cannot allow yourself to have a bubble bath because it's not self-love. It is self-love. It is also an act of self-love and self-care. You should do it, but however, there are so many other things you should consider. I'm not saying that, you need to be self-disciplined, you need to work 8 hours every day, and you need to, not sleep at night, sleep 5 hours and work, and sleep 5 hours and work, and hit the gym and everything, and be burned out every week. That's not what I'm saying. So number 5 is being responsible and organized. I cannot stress this enough. Being organized and responsible is so important. It's being responsible with your time. How do you spend your time? What do? Do you wait until the last minute that you have to leave? Or do you get yourself ready on time and you leave the house when you're supposed to leave in order to get there on time? Being on time is so important, and it says so much about the person. I hate being late. I absolutely hate being late. It gives me so much anxiety, and I feel like it's so unprofessional, and it just shows a lot about the person. I hate people who are late also. Like, if you're late, I don't like you. Like, 1 time, 2 times, 5 minutes late, that's okay, that's forgivable, But if you are constantly like 20 minutes late, I don't like you, we cannot be friends. It's also asking yourself a question. Am I spending my time responsibly? Like, am I scrolling social media all the time? Or am I actually doing something? Do I responsibly manage my time? To conclude all of this, the sixth point is balance. You have to care to find balance. Because, it's not like, oh my god, this and this and this. I gave you so many things, and it might feel like, oh my god, self-love is so overwhelming. It's not overwhelming. Yes, it takes a certain amount of work to do. Of course, just like anything that is worth it requires work. Life is not a candy shop. Like, we have to, long term, if you conquer all those things, it will benefit you so much. But that's the thing, that you just have to find balance. What is more important to you? What is more important to you this week? Like, think weekly. Don't think like long term, this is gonna be one schedule I have for a lifetime. Think weekly. What is more important to me this week? I feel tired, so I'm gonna prioritize my rest. This week I feel active, I'm ready to work, I've got work to do. I'm gonna push myself. I'm gonna be disciplined, I'm gonna be responsible with my time, I'm gonna be organized to do this work. And also take care of myself. That's the thing, it doesn't mean the self-discipline, being responsible, all this stuff, it doesn't mean that you're supposed to forget about bubble baths and skincare and all of that. No, it also includes that. Manage your day, balance your life out in the way that you have time for everything, because all of those together, they are important and they play an important role in your life. It's what our family does for us when we're kids. Think about it. My parents always made sure that I eat my veggies and fruits, that I go to school on time, that I go to bed on time, that I do my homework, that I do my sports, etc., etc. And that I also have time to meet my friends, that I also get an occasional dinner at McDonald's, that I also get an occasional sweet, that I also enjoy myself and do something fun. It's all about balance, you see, and it's what our parents, our families did for us. They balanced it out for us. And of course, as a kid, you don't always want to go to bed on time. You don't always want to eat your damn broccoli. Exercise discipline in you, because long term, I grew up and it benefited me. I remember my mom always taught me to do chores in the house, like cleaning, and I always helped my mom with cleaning. And I remember as a kid, as a teenager, I was always like, oh, why do I have to do this? Why can't I just I'm a kid, come on, I just want to play, I just want to do my things. Why do I have to clean up the house? But long term, I grew up now and it's a habit for me. Once a week, for me, it actually became a ritual. It's such a necessary ritual. It's a part of me. It's a part of my life. Every Friday or Saturday, I'm cleaning the house. Every week, I'm cleaning the house. And for me, this is a reset of my environment. This is a reset for me mentally. This is letting go whatever was this week and just cleaning everything and organizing everything. And it's so nice to be in a clean and organized environment, and it really resets your mind. And that's the thing, that I grew up with this habit, and as a kid I absolutely hated it. However, now as an adult, it benefits me so much because I know exactly what to do. I know how to hold a broom and everything. I know what to clean, how to clean, with what products to use, and I do kind of enjoy it, even though sometimes I don't always want to do it. I'm not always motivated to do it. However, what calls me to do it, what motivates me to do it, is the fact that I'm gonna feel good afterwards. It's the fact that I'm gonna have this reset in my head and in my environment, and I cannot live without it anymore because I'm so used to it, because it was present always in my life. Sometimes it's hard to find motivation to do all of this, and you gotta think, in those cases, think more long term. I don't want to do this right now, but if I'm gonna do it, how is it gonna benefit me long term? And what's gonna happen if I'm gonna keep doing it? For example, if I put a certain amount of money on a separate like savings account every month how much I'm gonna have in 5 years. Keep reminding yourself, why are you doing this? All of those things together with the bubble baths, buying flowers for yourself, do that, please. If you love it, do it. But together with taking care of yourself, being responsible and organized, having self-respect, self-discipline, self-integrity, and balancing all of this out, this is self-love. It's self-love because it leads you to self-fulfillment, because you feel fulfilled on a deeper level and it feels good and it's gonna benefit you for your entire life. It takes work and effort, but trust me, you're gonna be so happy once you get there. So this is it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this. I hope I helped. I hope everything is clear. If you have any questions, if there's anything at all, please comment down below. Like if you like it, and support my little growing channel, please. Subscribe, join the family, because there's definitely going to be a lot more topics like this that I'm gonna talk about. I love it, and I certainly love interacting with all of you guys. If you have anything to add, I'm open to any opinions, etc. Yeah, so let me know. And goodbye, and have yourself a very wonderful day, evening, morning, wherever you are. Bye.
Well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby. Let's not get